How do you guys feel about this Bulgarian wrestler advancing from NXT into the main roster of the WWE? As much as he's got the look, the strength, and the size to back him up, have the WWE really had the best track record of booking and keeping the continuous good booking on foreign wrestlers? Or does something frequently go wrong with their push? I want to hope for the best for him, but until I see his time in the WWE, we can only hope for the best. Okay, the first match, Fandango defeating Santino. I still hope for Santino to bring comedy to his matches, win or lose, but this match didn't do much for me. The Bellas with Cameron defeating AJ, Fox, and Xana. It's another typical Divas mixed match. It don't interest me again. I really don't know what's going to save the Divas division because matches like this don't work. Then we have the guest host of Raw, Betty White, having this segment with the New Age Outlaws, and they're all trying to play or prevent tricks from being played on her. But New Age Outlaws try to trick her by putting laxative in a great cup of tea. But it gets reversed around because Betty White is a clever old lady, and Billy Gunn ends up drinking it. I really, as much as laxative was great when DX did it in the past, because it's happened before, it was funny back then, but now I guess people are trying and begging so hard for the WWE to pull as much as they can away from the PG era, stop with these jokey stuff and get down to business. But there are fans out there that would have found this funny. When it came to Ryback and Curtis Axel facing the Usos, which in the eyes of the commentators should have been a #1 contendership, they faced the New Age Outlaws for the Tag Team Championships. But instead it was just a 2-on-2. And again, it weren't really about the match, it was just the Usos proving themselves that they're worthy and ready to go for the gold. Which, to be honest, the Usos are a great tag team. They've been together a long time, but not really made it to the gold. Ryback and Curtis Axel, I really couldn't care less. They could have been a dominating heel tag team, but they're really not. So eventually, I want to see the Usos get their match and eventually get the gold, even if it means beating a great tag team like the New Age Outlaws. But they're at commentary. The commentators and Road Dogg are ignoring Billy Gunn's squirming as his stomach starts to get the process ready, shall we say. And then it comes to a point where they're probably about to go into the ring, New Age Outlaws, to give Usos their match, and Billy runs off. People would have found that gold, people would have found that funny, people would have found that not what they want to see in a wrestling business. My views on it is, yes, it didn't make me laugh as much as the DX one in the past, but it gave Betty White something to do, even if it weren't that good of a part of Raw. The Wyatts and the Shield got good parts of Raw. First, we have the Wyatts defeating Rey Mysterio and the Road Brothers from a silent tag to Bray Wyatt as he took down Ray. Then we get Dean Ambrose finally putting the United States Championship on the line in an open challenge against none other than Mark Henry. Maybe this is setting up a future match, because in all honesty, I'd rather see Mark Henry versus Biggie Langston for the unification of the mid-card championships. When will it happen? Mania? They could build it up to. Not a bad match. It'll be something more interesting and more of a better fight between Mark Henry and Biggie Langston. That would be a great way to put Langston over. Because if you have Langston versus Ambrose, the debate is who do you put over? How do you put them over? But when you have Mark Henry as the United States champion and Langston as the IC, that'd be a perfect time for Mark Henry to give Langston a big win at Mania. I think that's a good way to build it. And also with these two matches, the WWE are really emphasizing on Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns as the two main head guys, the one in the middle of their group. And I think that is the right way to go, to be honest. As much as the Wyatt two could and will make a great tag team, a good heel one, when they eventually work on their own without Bray being there every time they're together. Ambrose, at the minute, I'm not believing in him as much as I did when the Shield first came in. Rollins, he's still at the third peg of the group, so I still want to see more from him. But Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, they've got something there. Then we had Sheamus teaming up with another elimination opponent, Christian, taking on Jack Swagger and another elimination opponent, Cesaro. This match, I think, was more of a warm-up match for Christian and Sheamus, as they get the win over the Americans, the real Americans. No real surprise. I'm wanting to see more from Cesaro, especially if he's going to be one of the wrestlers to eventually grow in the WWE. Swagger, if they are going to go down turning him face, I don't see that lasting long. But that was a good Shield participation match, so I give that credit. Then we have Dolph Ziggler losing a quick match. Against Alberto Del Rio. Not much to this match whatsoever. Del Rio trying his hardest to look like a really good heel, ready for his match against Batista at Elimination Chamber. But Batista continues this frustration run he has and puts Del Rio through a table. Triple H backstage is trying to defend his actions by saying, "No, I can't let you do that. Things have changed. I'm just trying to protect you, Dave." That, again, emphasizing on Batista, you've now entered the PG world of the WWE. You cannot continue being that brutal. As much as I didn't like Triple H saying that, because I would love to see more brutality, more of the animal breaking out and hopefully destroy Del Rio. But it is what it is. Triple H is this new PG trying to do a great job for the company, what's best for business. But Triple H, in all honesty, stopping Batista being the animal, the full potential animal, is not what's best for business, mate. Stephanie McMahon or the Authority try and get Kane to have a week off for his actions against Daniel Bryan. But this week on Raw, Kane comes out to explain his actions, only for Daniel Bryan to cut him short. And I'm questioning, okay, Daniel Bryan versus Kane in a one-off match, even though we've seen it before and that feud finally finished, they moved on from it. They're bringing it back, and the only real difference is Kane's authority figure, and then hopefully continue the build of Daniel Bryan and Triple H. That's the only way I can see this match leading to something bigger at Mania. But that was quick and short. Main event, I really didn't care about this. The WWE commentators backstage segments was trying to hype this up like, ooh, what a great match this is going to be. A match we've got to see. John Cena versus Randy Orton. Yes, there was a few kicking out of finishers. Orton could have won. Orton tries to punch Cena. But at the end of the day, we've had Daniel Bryan defeat Randy Orton, Orton defeating Christian, and Cena defeating Orton. So when it comes to the not so bigger guys of the Elimination Chamber, he beats them. Like he's probably gonna lose against Sheamus at the next match when it comes. I don't know how they're booking this, but at the minute he may put on an okay match against Bryan, an okay match against Cena. But I want to see Orton pick up these wins. Like you said in the opener, bring back the Viper. Hashtag bring back the Viper. But it was a match that I'm sure not many of us cared about. But people, please share your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. You've heard mine. I don't think this was a good Raw. Nothing really stood out as what a great match, what a great moment of Raw. No, there was one part of Raw which I'm going to say this right now was probably the best part of Raw, and that was the announcement of Lita becoming another inductee to the Hall of Fame 2014. What a great member to be joining this. What a great diva in the WWE. She advanced in her career so beautifully. She was such a great diva. Admire her, love her. Her work was great. As much as I would love to see her have another run in the WWE, give the Divas something to work towards, have Lita put over Divas, her going to the Hall of Fame has made this Hall of Fame bigger, better. I really like this move the WWE have given us. Lita, congratulations, and I look forward to hearing you speak out to the WWE Universe.